Here's Joseph Robinette Rogan talking about an issue that isn't fucking real, that he believes is real in his heart of hearts, because transphobic people love believing in dumb shit that trans people are not doing. Let's talk about Joe Rogan and this litter box story. So Libs of TikTok came out with this fake fucking story last year. And I personally thought Americans are really fucking stupid. But are they that stupid that they would legitimately fucking believe that, you know, there are litter boxes for schools for kids who identify as furries? No fucking way. Turns out Americans are that fucking stupid. Let's take a look at Joe Rogan and what he had to say.
There's kids. Ready for this? My friend, his wife, is a school teacher. And she...
Buddy of mine coming in hot, coming in clutch. Joe Rogan, befriender of all. Big buddy guy. Friend of mine. Get ready for a friend of mine's story.
Works at a school that had to install a litter box in the girls' room because there is a girl who's a furry who identifies as an animal, and her mother badgered.
There was a time and place where we used to make fun of idiots like this. Why is it now that, like, the most unhinged you get, the more unhinged you get, the more believable you are? What happened? This is quite literally an email chain. For all the boomers in the chat, this is like email chain stories that these guys are basically repeating on independent media now. Like, what the fuck? How does an online forum like 4chan and shit get this kind of prominence in mainstream media? God damn it, dude. We are not capable of handling Facebook and social media in general. We are so bad.
Badgered the school until they agreed to put a litter box in one of the stalls. Yeah. So this girl goes into the litter room, or to the girls' room, and urinates or whatever. I don't know if she poops in it. That's pretty gross. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. How is this how are people saying this is a real story? I want to fucking kiss myself, okay? I want to kiss myself when I see motherfuckers with this level of prominence, with this level of influence, repeating such stupid, idiotic, completely false bullshit fucking stories. Oh my God.
Like, if you could teach your cat, by the way, here's the thing. If you could teach your cat to use the toilet, you would. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want a box of piss in your house. It's the worst. I've had cats my whole life. It's the worst thing about having cats. You got to clean that box of piss every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's the greatest thing about dogs. They go outside. Like, you're a fucking human.
The cats got their humans trained.
Imagine how crazy that is. You're a fucking human being, and you prefer a litter box. You want to piss into a pile of sand rather than use a bathroom that you could flush the toilet, wipe yourself like a normal person. Like, you're so crazy with what you think an animal is that not only have you said this, but you've conned the school.
Yeah.
Into putting this fucking litter box.
One of the funniest parts about stories like this is when people go, man, it's so unbelievable, but it's true. No, it's not. It's unbelievable because it's not true. Okay? I hate this so much. People will believe anything now, as long as it's about your perceived enemies. As long as it's about a group of individuals that you have declared to be like the villain of society, you can get away with saying whatever the fuck you want, no matter how unhinged it is. Like, no one wants to exercise a little bit, just a shred of skepticism when something doesn't smell right, because you've broken your fucking brain to a degree where you legitimately are just like, nah, it's probably true, because that's how crazy trans people are. Like, no, man. Trans students don't want that level of accommodation. They just want to exist, okay? They just want to exist without being bullied. They want to exist without being hate crime. They just want to exist. So furry equals trans is not what I'm saying, no. But to transphobic people, yes, they're broadly categorizing everything weird or odd as trans, and this is just furthering the narrative that, like, these level of accommodations are happening and it's changing society and it's really fucked up, right? M. Hud said, it's so ironic how there's more information available than ever before, and it's also the easiest to trick people than it's ever been. Yeah, you have the entirety of the internet to arrive at the truth, and you decide to just fucking find the most unhinged, idiotic, bullshit conspiracies. Joe Rogan's wife exposes litter boxes in schools. A family member posts this video in the family group chat, super old school Christian family, except the video literally took out a part where she says in its case of shootings at schools, then skips to where the teacher says it isn't normal, making it seem like it was for kids who identify as furries at schools. Now I'm seeing the whole thing, which completely changes the context. I'm sending this video to the chat now and calling out that bullshit. If it made its way to my family's group chat, you know damn well it's making the rounds online too. Wait, it's so crazy. How is Joe Rogan's friend's wife, this famous conspiracy theory that everyone is trading in WhatsApp groups and stuff? That's wild. Let's take a look.
Today during professional development, which is usually meant to talk about systems and structures in your school and curriculum, we were given buckets. We were also given first aid kits, toilet paper. We were given kitty litter to put in the buckets. And there is a pop-up tent to pop up around this bucket. These buckets are to use as toilets because this is a need now for kids that have been on lockdown because of a threat, need to use the bathroom when they're in for 3-4.
Oh my God. Bro, America is so fucked. In their schools have school shooting preparedness first aid kits, and the same people who say school shootings are fucking fake turn around and cut this in a way to make it seem like they're accommodating for fucking furries. This is the most American story I've ever seen. How? I'm losing my fucking mind!
We were also given a Sharpie, and that is to write the time. If you had to tie a tourniquet on a kid, you'd write the time you did it on their body for paramedics to see how long it's been tied off. This isn't normal.
So they cut all this part out and they fucking made it so it's just they cut all of that part out and they made it seem like this is not normal. They cut it from like here, the kitty litter, to this is not normal, to make it seem like she's just talking about fucking furry accommodations.
Paramedics to see how long it's been tied off. This isn't normal. Unfortunately, our society is at a place where it is, and we need to do something about it.
Okay, here's Ben Collins. My NBC News colleagues and I spent the last month finding the root of America's hottest, dumbest urban legend. Schools are leaving out litter boxes for kids who identify as furries, despite what Joe Rogan says it's not true, but its origins are grimmer than you'd ever imagine. You have probably heard of dozens of variations of the litter boxes in schools lie. You might have heard it from Rogan, talking to Tulsi Gabbard, from his friend's wife who works at a school, or maybe Lauren Boebert, or maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's everywhere. If you didn't hear about the litter boxes in school rumor from a GOP politician, you probably heard about your own town. So how did this happen? What's the first real instance of people talking about cat litter in schools? Well, here's where it gets dark. NBC News found one example of a school district keeping cat litter on campus. The Jefferson County School District has had classrooms with cat litter since 2017, in case students are locked in a classroom during a fucking school shooting. Jefferson County is where Columbine is located. Cat litter was handed out in Columbine School District for an active shooter situation 5 years ago. Since then, the litter boxes in schools rumor has evolved into a way to mock the LGBTQ youth. It's now being used as a culture war ammo by over 20 GOP politicians nationwide. What's most provocative about this hoax is how it turns on two key wedge issues for conservatives: educational accommodations and gender nonconformity. The data shows how the litter boxes in schools rumors that cannot die is mostly due to the incredulity of adults. According to Graphica's Christina Lopez G, kids on TikTok are creating videos mocking adults who believe it in it, wind up providing fodder for the oblivious Facebook people. Attention school districts, we do not educate felines or canines or any other type of animal. We educate people. Hashtag problem solved. If students are going to identify as something other than human, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They're like, la, 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 I can't hear you. Shut the fuck up. You're still meowing at school. What do you do? What do you do with these people? The people who spread this conspiracy theory are doing it with ill intent. The originators of this conspiracy theory are awful. They're villains. But there are a lot of fucking dumbasses who have been so geared towards being transphobic that they will believe anything and everything that paints trans people as ridiculous, as insane. That's the problem. A lot of your parents might not be otherwise incredibly hateful people. Some of your parents are definitely transphobic, right? It's a normal part of existence, unfortunately. It's so normalized. The real villains here are people like the people that spread this. Joe Rogan himself is a villain in this story because he has more responsibility to talk about the truth. He has more responsibility to assess whether or not this is real before fucking going off and repeating this lie. I feel like this coming out about the kitty litter being for school shootings might be an eye-opening moment for people who spread that lie, though. Here, I'll give it to you from the framework of fucking bullshit cancellation and cancel culture shit. Okay? Everybody sees the original tweet. Nobody sees the correction. So no, unfortunately, it's not how that works. Everybody already is so geared to fucking shit on queer teenagers that they already want to believe it because so many stories like this have happened. And there's also so much systemic violence directed towards trans youth that they are already ready to fucking believe it. The environment is ripe for this kind of fucking bullshit. So they jump on it immediately and promote it. They never see the correction. Even if you show them the correction, in many instances, they will deny it. This is how it always works. People want to just fucking double down. It's rare that you get a lie that's both colossally dumb and uniquely dangerous for already vulnerable people. It took a whole team of reporters to get through that nonsense. And God knows I hate to spread this man's nonsense, but it's instructive here. If you see a story on the internet and your reaction is like, Joe Rogan's, that's crazy, that's bananas, it makes no sense, then maybe, just maybe, it doesn't make sense because it's not real.
Kids, ready for this?
Yeah, Libs of TikTok posted this again, by the way. So that was awesome. Great. They're basically celebrating their fucking dubs. I cannot understand how such a virulent, hate-ridden propaganda outlet can continue operating in the way that it does on all of our social media platforms. Holy fuck.